I think I'm really interested in I keep coming back to, in previous tapes, changing beliefs, because you can get out of that relationship. You've said it so many times, but you better get out of town too, because that same belief is going to follow.
So how does a belief change?
How does it change?
It changes by the vibration of your being. It changes by your attention. Let's demonstrate. So let's say that you have a belief that these are hard economic times. And so you acknowledge that these are hard, it's a hard time. I would like to have more money, but I don't have enough money. I haven't had enough money for quite a long time. It's miserable not having enough money. It's not fun not to have enough money. If you don't have enough money, there are so many things I'd like to do that I can't do. Oh man, if I had money, I'd do that, and I'd do that, and I'd do that. It sucks that I can't do those things that I really want to do. Don't you think? It isn't fun to not be able to do the things that I want to do. Feels to me like something's really unfair about that. I have a friend, she's got a lot of money. It's disgusting, really. See the way she spends it. She inherited it. She didn't earn it. She did not earn it. She did not earn it. She is the laziest person that I have ever known. She did not earn it. She doesn't even try. She just does things that make her feel good all day, every day. A lot of people suffering, A lot of people could use that money, but no. No. She just keeps it all for her selfish self. Think about all the things that could be better if she would give some of her money to them. It's just not right. It doesn't feel good to me. It's just not right. I don't think it's fair that we be deprived of money. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that so much suffering in this world because of poverty. So many people not having enough money. It's just not fair. All those rich people over there, it's like this big old pie, and the rich people have got all of it, and the poor people have only got a little bit of it, and it isn't fair. It's not just. It isn't just. It makes me furious when I think about it. I'm going to do something about that. I'm going to take my key in the parking lot, and I'm going to key every fancy car I see. I'm going to let them have a little of the suffering that the rest of us have got going on. Yeah, I'm going to let the air out of their tires too. I'm going to talk smack about them every chance I get. Because I deserve better. I deserve better. I work hard. I deserve better. Are you getting the gist of this? Are you getting the gist of how, without even trying very hard, you can work yourself into a frenzy that just feels worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and practices a vibration rather than changing it? Practices the vibration. Not only practices it, enhances it. It's like digging in, because the more detail you give to anything, the more active the vibration is. The less detail you give to anything, the less active the vibration is. So now let's take that same conversation and let's take it from that place of really not feeling good to a place of feeling better about it. You've just witnessed some injustice. You can't do something that you really want to do. So instead of becoming more detailed about it, you become more general about it if you can. You say things like, well, maybe it will work out for me someday. Or, there are people that are prosperous today that weren't always. Or, in the same way that ideas occurred to them that helped them out, ideas can come to me, maybe. Now, so far, if you went with us down that other trail, none of that feels that good, does it? In other words, you could talk yourself eventually out of that wobble by becoming general. But usually, once you've got yourself all wrapped up in something like that, everything that you try to say to make it feel better, you find yourself wanting to fight for your position, because your position feels valid, your position feels true, your opinion feels right, because life has reflected back to you what your opinion is. Not because it's the way that it is, but it's because the vibration you've got makes life show itself to you like that. You create your perception of reality. You see what we're getting at? So we're not asking you to change your beliefs the hard way, by taking something that you believe that's active and then say it in a different way, because that makes you argue for it. It makes you argue for what you believe. It makes you justify and defend. Oh, don't give me that stuff. I've seen enough to know that I know what I'm talking about. That's what you say. You say, here's evidence of what I mean. And the evidence keeps coming and coming and coming, doesn't it? Because it's active in your vibration. It's right on the tip of your tongue. It's right on the tip of your mind. And the universe will show you more of it. The universe will support every belief that you hold, you see. So we think it's a wonderful thing when you say, I've got some beliefs. Esther's been saying it too. I've got some beliefs that clearly I hold that I don't want to keep living. So how do you change a belief? Well, the easiest way is to accept this one absolute fact. While you sleep, the momentum of your thought subsides. And momentum is a word that must be intricately involved with the words law of attraction, because law of attraction is about momentum. When you think a thought and hold it for as little as 17 seconds, another thought like that joins it. So you get momentum going. It's like pushing a car from the top of the hill with the brake off. It's in neutral and no parking brake. You push it a little bit, it'll go right down the hill. You don't want to be at the bottom of the hill trying to stop the momentum. You could stop the momentum easily when it first starts. Just stand out in front of it. It'll bump up against you, but no big deal. But if you let the momentum really get going, then you can't stop it with action. So thoughts are that way too. Beliefs are that way too. You can't stop an unwanted belief just by thinking a thought that's opposite of it. I really hate that guy, but he's probably nice to some people. Probably got a really sweet spirit. So the way you modify or bridge beliefs is by getting hold of the core of the belief at its most general place, at its most wobble-free place. Now, what do we mean by wobble-free? I want this, but I don't believe it. Well, there's a little wobble there. I really want it, and I really don't believe it. There's a bigger wobble. I really, really, really want this thing I do not have. It's a bigger wobble. Big, 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 big wobbles have big, big negative emotion around them. Little wobbles don't feel so bad. So you want to catch it in its early wobble. When you wake up in the morning, as you've been sleeping, all momentum relative to your beliefs just a thought you keep thinking, has subsided. Now when you wake up, you usually, if you're like most people, pick up right where you left off. You remember what you were thinking about yesterday or what happened yesterday, or you step back into the same environments and have the same knee-jerk responses to them. But you don't have to, because when you wake up, you are in a different vibrational place. So if when you wake up tomorrow morning, you'll stop and recognize, stop before you jump into your day and acknowledge, this is a new day, and I'm mostly wobble-free because while I slept, my beliefs were suspended. Because while I slept, I did not actively engage in any of them. So my beliefs that have been hindering me are at their least active position. Now, just by saying that, my beliefs are at their most inactive position, you've just activated the beliefs. In other words, you just did. We're just making the point here that we want you to understand it conceptually. But when you wake up in the morning, don't try to think about the things. Don't try to get to the bottom of it. Don't try to resolve it. Just accept that I got some beliefs that aren't serving me very well that I'd like to hold in an inactive place. The beliefs that do serve you, activate them. I love my kids. I love that tree. I love my life. I love this juice. I'm enjoying this egg. I like this day. I like this blue sky. I like this. I like this. I like this. Give your attention to the things that you do want to encourage a belief about, but be really soft and silent about the things that you don't. And after a few mornings of waking up in that wobble-free place and maintaining it for a little while, first morning we suggested this to Esther. She didn't make it to breakfast before she was thinking about the things that she needed to wrestle to the ground. But after a little while, it became such a good feeling to get into the day without putting out brush fires, without trying to control something uncontrollable, without giving up, without sacrificing her alignment for something that is uncontrollable. That's what you've been doing. You're sacrificing alignment by trying to take action about things when it's not the action. The action never makes a difference. There's not enough action in the world to compensate for your vibrational countenance. You've got to control, you've got to guide, you've got to hone, you've got to mold, you've got to bridge those beliefs by caring about the way you feel and by finding the best feeling thought that you can.